We saw creators do it with Prime, Beastables, Joyride, and now we're going to see it with Lunchly. These content creators are taking on big businesses and they're winning. And very soon we're going to see Lunchly completely dominate the grab-and-go food market. And there's two key lessons that we can take away from this inevitable takeover from the largest creators. So let's break this down so you can crush your competition. The first lesson we can take away is that exposure always wins. And that's because no matter how great your product or service is, if nobody knows about it, there's no way you can beat your competition. So let's take a look at how much digital exposure Lunchables gets. And in this case, we're going to measure digital exposure by audience size on Instagram. We're just going to use that metric because it's quick and easy to measure. So on Instagram, Lunchables has a little over 97,000 followers. And I don't know about you, but I thought they would have a lot more. Now, let's look at Lunchly's. Okay, I thought they were going to have a lot more followers than 45,000. But let's be real. Lunchly's exposure is going to go well beyond the product's official Instagram page, and that's because the owners are going to be promoting the product. So we need to take into consideration the audience size of Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI. So compared to Lunchables' current audience of only 97,000 followers, Lunchly completely destroys them with a combined audience of over 100 million followers on Instagram. So ultimately, upon the announcement of the new product, Lunchly has more exposure and will continue to have more exposure unless Lunchables comes up with something a lot more clever than a beaver and a jackalope.
Mix up your favorite foods with Lunchables with 100% juice kababo.
Now as a business, it's important to do the exact same thing as Lunchly and prioritize getting more exposure. Because after all, exposure is the foundation of everything. If you want more followers, you need more exposure. If you want more engagement, you need more exposure. If you want more sales, guess what? You need more exposure. And the great thing is, social media is the perfect place to get more exposure. And that brings us to the second lesson, which is the power of collaboration. Individually, Lunchly isn't that big. But through the power of collaboration with Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI's audience, Lunchly is huge. And the thing is, collaboration leads to more exposure. So every time you're able to collaborate with another product or service that aligns with yours, you're able to tap into a new audience. And this is exactly what KSI and Logan did with Prime. As Prime continued to grow, they started to partner up and collab with different individuals and organizations. And as they continue to collaborate with others, their exposure continued to grow as well. And since Logan and KSI are part owners in Lunchly, I think it's safe to assume there's going to be a lot of collaborations in the future. And look, exposure and collaboration are two key ingredients for success. And whether you're building a brand or launching a new product, these lessons are essential. And who knows, Lunchly might be a huge success or it might be a complete flop, but there's one thing that's for sure. Those who master exposure and collaboration normally have an upper hand. And one brand that did a fantastic job at this and had a lot of success is the Barbie movie. So if you want to see my complete breakdown and lessons you can take away from it, watch this video right here.